Welcome back to potentially the biggest Hearthstone report of the expansion or pre-expansion phase. The big reveal stream has finished. Descent of Dragons is completely revealed, and the expansion is going to drop next Tuesday, which is only a couple days from now. So we have a lot of cards to go through. A lot of people have been waiting for this. We've been getting requests. We couldn't do it yesterday when the final stream took place because it would have just been too late, and the video would have been out probably past midnight Central European, so that just wasn't worth it. So we're doing it today. And we have a lot of stuff to get through.
Yeah, because there wasn't just a final reveal card stream, but also like an entire week before that.
Correct. So a lot of stuff to come. We got every single card that dropped in the expansion that we haven't reviewed yet for all the previous ones. And we left it off at Dragon Queen Alexstrasza for all the previous ones. Check the previous Hearthstone reports. Let's get into what we have. JJ, start it off.
Well, first of all, we got the Diving Griffon, a 3-mana 4/1 beast for the Hunter class that reads Rush. Battle Cry, draw a Rush minion from your deck.
That seems very familiar somehow.
We did have more Rush support for Hunter already, so this is just playing into that theme more so.
So Rush, Battle Cry, draw. Rush is not bad. For 3 mana, this seems pretty good.
Yeah, and it kills
bunch of things.
Pretty much most 3-drops.
It's pretty good.
Well, yeah, that's kind of the idea.
And you get the Town Cry, Battle Cry, which is a pretty strong one.
Yes,
I don't hate it.
But it has Rush itself.
It has Rush itself. What the one that reminded me of is Akali, because it also has Rush and with an effect draws a Rush. That's what it was.
Next up, we've got the 2-mana 2/3 Transmogrifier. After you draw a card, transform it into a random legendary minion.
Ugh.
I think this is meant to go in the Plot Twist Warlock.
Man, this is worse than River Crockless. Like, that's a negative effect, I think.
I don't think it's intended as such.
Man, you draw. You don't even have control over what card it is. It might be a card you want.
Well, it's kind of the same thing as like Prince Liam, where like at some point in the game, all of your cheap stuff starts being worthless, so you'd rather have the random legendaries.
Prince Liam was, by the way, what he's talking about, Fringe Inclusion and Odd Paladin for a while. And the point was that against things like heavy control warriors, you might run out of steam with your deck. So yeah, you'd rather transform everything into legends and hope to get a higher roll. But this only does it as long as it's on the board. So, and when it is on the board, and I don't know.
I mean, the question is, how aggressive is Plot Twist gonna be?
But even then, like, do you really want to play the whole Plot Twist archetype to get random legendary minions?
No, but just as a backup strategy, it might be worth it. I'm not sure.
I don't know. It's player fun.
It's definitely an interesting card. Yes.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't think it's very good. Anchor! We got another legendary weapon.
Yes, it's a 3-mana 2/3 warrior weapon. Legendary, as you said. After your hero attacks, draw a pirate from your deck.
This seems so off the wall.
Pirate Warrior's coming back, man.
But there isn't any support for...
Oh, there is.
Trust me. There's some with the new expansion, but like...
There's all sorts of pirates still coming out.
But like, I don't know, man. We'll see. I mean, listen, it's a legend. For a legend, a 2/3, you draw 3 cards.
Yeah, it's relatively weak.
I'm not so sure.
It has the same stats, flipped stats to most 3-mana weapons. It has an upside like most 3-mana weapons. Like Eaglehorn Bow and all those exist already. So
I'm not convinced that Pirate is as an aggro option is going to ever beat out or going to come close to beating out the enraged Galakrond sort of established warrior, the Sparrowhawk warrior.
Yeah, the rush type of next up, we've got a 3-mana spell for Priest, which is Breath of the Infinite. Deal 2 damage to all minions, and just as with all the other breaths, if you're holding a dragon, and this time it's only damage enemies.
That's pretty good.
I mean, remember Volcanic Potion?
Yes.
This is Volcanic Potion with a potential upside.
Yes, and you most likely will be holding a dragon. Now, it's by no means Duskbreaker levels of strength, which we've seen those types of cards also, but it's not bad. It's essentially Holy Nova minus with a very minor downside if you hold a dragon for 2 less mana.
Yes. I think this is a good card in a control deck, which is what it's going for. It's trying to be Dragon Control Priest.
Possibly, though, will be oftentimes played on 3, I think. just to clear out those first between 1 and 3 minions of your opponents, if that sort of deck comes around.
Yeah. Next up we've got, speaking of pirates, 5 mana 4/4 Cobalt Sticky Finger. He's a pirate. Battle Cry, steal your opponent's weapon.
So this is obviously a reference to the Sticky Toes from the solo challenges, who was also, I believe, a kobold. Steal your opponent's weapon seems like a very interesting thing.
Okay, do you by any chance, because I don't know how exactly this works, do you just get it? Does it get added to your hand?
I would imagine you equip it.
Because
but
then
I'm not sure. I'm not sure though. If you equip it, it's going to be incredible because that's so much better than Harrison Jones.
Yes,
potentially. But even if you add it to your hand, it's pretty good because you essentially destroy your opponent's weapon and you give yourself
extra
card.
Value.
Yeah.
And I would assume that little bonus effect doesn't trigger death rattles, which is more often than not a positive. Correct. Because most death rattles on weapons are positive ones.
In Wild, for example, this would be the anti-Kingsbane.
Oh,
it shuts Kingsbane down completely, sort of.
Not that the Leeching Poison nerf didn't already shut down Kingsbane completely, but you know.
Like Valanier, all those cards, basically, the cycle cards. Tentacles for arms.
Yes.
Which is not even good. Seems like a strong card if the meta arises.
Speaking of cards that aren't bad, 3 mana 3/4 Dreadraven, a beast, which generally is a good thing, has +3 attack for each other Dreadraven you control.
That looks pretty good, dude.
Vanilla stats with an upside, we always like those.
Yeah. Is there some kind of weird combo to be pulled off? Involving potentially Tundra right now.
Oh, okay. I don't know. But I know that there is definitely ways to duplicate minions. And at worst, if you run 2 of those and you can play them on the same turn, you got 6 force, which is also pretty good.
Yeah.
So. I think that this is the kind of stuff that you'd want maybe in a deck involving something like Talkwaggle Scheme.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
maybe.
So this is kind of like...
More Ravens?
I guess a worse version of Pogos in that regard, which is why they probably aren't going to be used in that specific circumstance. But, I don't know, maybe Hunter has some use for them.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, as soon as you got 2 Red Ravens on the board at the same time, it's pretty huge.
I also a fun interaction with Splitting Image.
Yeah.
Because the moment it gets attacked, Splitting Image triggers,
and it busts.
The passive buff happens, and then the attack resolves.
Exactly.
So, whenever it attacks, it is going to take more damage than anticipated. To be fair, you kind of can see that coming a little bit, but still. Next up, we've got 5 mana, 5/5 Cumulo Maximus, who's an elemental for Shaman, and says Battle Cry, if you have overloaded mana crystals, deal 5 damage.
It's one of the better overload supports I've seen.
Yeah, it seems that they're trying to go for Shaman Overload synergy again. We're seeing a lot of new elementals, which doesn't really seem to be a theme, but it is interesting to note. Yeah. Overload synergy. It is 1 point understated. It deals 5 damage. It doesn't say to a minion. Very important. Overload tends to be aggressive. This deals aggressive damage to the face. We know that when Overload synergies support aggro, the Shaman with Overload is usually pretty strong.
Yeah, that's true. So, it looks pretty good. Maybe this goes in Quest. This might go in Quest.
Yeah.
If you run like Zap and stuff, and like Lightning Storm, it might go in Quest.
It might also just go into something like a Vicina Overload aggro kind of Shaman build.
Lightning Bolt, you get the damaging spells.
We have
like,
a lot of
small
damaging spells like Lightning Bolt and Lava Burst that can go face with damage. We have all the Overload synergies in Cumulo Maximus, another upcoming card.
And you got the Spirit of the Frog to kind of enable the whole thing.
Yeah, and you got the weapon, Lickum. So, I feel like it's kind of coming together, the Overload Shaman.
We'll see.
I'm not sure if it's gonna be good enough.
Or a better aggro deck than Murloc Shaman, for that matter.
But it's definitely worth trying out.
Yeah.
Next up, 8 mana, 4/12 Dragon Legendary for Warlock. Zeraku the Warped.
Zeraku.
Whenever your hero takes damage, which, Warlock happens, summon a 6/6 Nether Drake.
So, worst case, basically this and tap. For 10-18 in stats on one turn.
Yes, that is definitely an idea.
Yeah.
This seems like something that could easily go maybe as a top end into like builds similar to the current Zoo Warlock, the damaging one, of course. where you already have stuff like Vulture and Nephroset Thrasher. Yeah. You've maybe got the Soul Bomb. That's what's called, right? Soul Bomb. The deal 4, take 4.
It might be. It might be Soul Bomb. Something like that.
Spirit Bomb.
Spirit Bomb, not Soul
That's
Bomb.
what it is. I was like, that didn't sound quite.
Nah, not quite.
You know, so there is definitely the pieces there to make it happen. Yeah. Not sure.
Just if this and double, not Dark Pact. Deal 2 damage to a friendly character or summon a demon to your hand.
Yeah.
That one.
Something like that. Mm-hmm. But again, the pieces to make this happen are definitely there.
Yeah.
And there is a deck that could profit from it. The question is just, is it worth including an 8-drop in your Zoo deck for a potential upside?
It was with Reform. I'm not sure which one's going to be more impactful, though.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yep.
We have a 3-mana 4/3 beast. Already pretty good. Bad Luck Albatross. Death Rattle. Shuffle 2 1/1 Albatross into your opponent's deck. Is the plural of Albatross?
That's what I was thinking. I'm looking this up, by the way, while you talk about the cards. We're scientific here, linguistically. So, how do you like the card?
Well, it has vanilla stats. I'm personally always a big fan of the ones that have the more aggressive version of the vanilla stats. You don't see those as much. And this one shuffles minions into your opponent's deck that you expect them not to be able to use very efficiently.
Both Albatross and Albatrossus is the correct plural form for Albatross.
Good to know. So
saving card space.
It seems like this is more often than not an upside, the Death Rattle it is. So it's definitely a decent card. I'm not sure if it's good enough to be included in any kind of ladder decks. I'm pretty sure Midrange Hunter has a lot of better options, and I don't see what else would really run this unless you're trying to aggressively counter something. It is worth noting this does counter Highlander.
It does. I think that's what people were talking about the most, right? It's like the anti-Zephyr sort of thing.
Well, I mean, I always thought that Bomb Warrior was going to be good in the Singleton meta, and like no one was playing it. That's true. I don't know.
We'll see.
So, I mean, this is, to be fair, it's less of a cost to include a single minion into your deck
than a whole archetype.
You probably would, if you want to run this to counter single, you'd probably run on both copies. Because
you're more likely to get it before Zephyrs comes down.
First of all, that, and second of all, once he draws one, Zephyrs is active again. If you have 4 in your deck, it's significantly harder to get rid of them.
Absolutely.
Next up, and this is one that's gonna be really good potentially, 6 mana 4/4 Dragon Caster, which is a mage minion, which says Battle Cry. If you're holding a dragon, your next spell this turn costs 0.
That is an insane card. This might, that might be the most broken card I've ever seen printed. I'm actually speechless that this card exists.
Maybe. This definitely works with stuff like Pyroblast very well. It does, I mean, even if you're playing this with a 6 mana spell, in theory, you're still gaining a bit of an advantage off of it. 6 mana 4/4, that is what? That's 3.5 mana in stats, so as long as you're getting a 3 mana or better spell out of this, you're at least making a profit. And of course, the idea is to play it with a high roll in mind.
Yes.
Something like a Pyroblast to kill your opponent on turn 6.
Blizzard.
Flame Strike and Blizzard are the ones where it basically more or less breaks even. With the mana cost,
you get the
plus getting the 4/4 stats. I mean, at that point it just becomes Arcane Tyrant. If you're playing it with Blizzard, it's just Arcane Tyrant.
Damn.
But, anything
Pyroblast is
above
the big
that.
issue. Pyroblast is a big issue, of course.
Pyroblast is a big one. Maybe Lunas?
Pyroblast is insanely overpowered at 10 mana. Like, imagine Pyroblast at 6. This can't live through a full meta cycle without being nerfed, right? Unless the whole class of mage someone doesn't get a deck together.
I mean, it does seem like the new mage cards are pretty good. I don't know if it's as strong as you think it is, but it is pretty strong.
Yeah, it's incredible. Damn, I don't want this card to be I already know that I want this nerfed right now. Arcane Breath, go ahead.
Arcane Breath, 1 mana spell for mage once again. Deal 2 damage to a minion. If you're holding a dragon, discover a spell.
So once again, the holding a dragon, we've seen that a lot, by the way.
Yeah, and what we've also seen a lot is mage liking playing a lot of small spells on one turn.
Oh yeah.
So that goes very well with that theme. And of course, it's another breath. 1 mana deal 2 to a minion. That's okay. 1 mana discover a spell. That's okay, I guess.
Yeah.
Both together, pretty good.
Pretty damn good.
Next up, unless you want to talk more about
No, that's cool.
6 mana, 5/5 dragon, legendary for shaman, Nidhogg, battle cry, summon 2 0/3 eggs. Next turn, they hatch into 4/4 drakes with rush.
Ooh, that's a rough card. I mean, this card is bad.
Bad, or good, bad?
Like, bad. Like, 0/3s that don't, like, is their death rattle also summon them drakes? It doesn't say so.
Well,
if it's not, they're garbage. Because they're 0/3s, you just snipe them off. You play the 6 mana 5/5.
Well, the question is, can your opponent always deal with them?
Well, not necessarily always, but higher roll, I think you get one of them to hatch. A turn later. Like, if you do that, you maybe break even, considering you just played a legendary minion for that.
Yeah, it's not
This seems
great.
really, really weak.
But if you get it off, it does have potentially pretty good stats. It is very slow is the problem. Yeah. And yes, it's a dragon, which synergizes with the expansion as a whole.
Yeah.
Probably not worth it.
No.
But speaking of shaman legendaries, we got another one.
Another one.
We got the 5 mana 5/5 Bandersmosh.
They be liking the mucklings.
Yes. Each turn, this is in your hand. Transform it into a 5/5 copy of a random legendary minion.
Speaking of trash legends.
This is Shifter Zerus, but different.
Yes.
One thing that I do notice, it doesn't say 5 mana.
Correct.
Which, if it did, I think it might be better, because a lot of legendaries are above, and they would then be cheaper, so you could get like a lot of the good battle cries and stuff like that.
Yeah, they can't do that. But if it's probably going to be the same cost.
This way, I guess you're hoping to get like a 1 mana legendary or something, just for the value, but it's not really that worth it, I would think.
No, those Shaman Legends both look fairly weak to me. I don't know. We'll see if they find a deck, but that sort of mechanic has never worked, really.
Yeah.
Never done well so far.
You know what I do like, however?
What?
A 5 mana 4/4 rogue minion by the name of Stowaway.
Stowaway.
Which says, Battlecry, if there are cards in your deck that didn't start there, draw 2 of them.
It seems pretty good.
You know, if you, I don't know, shuffled 1 mana cards from a different class into your deck that aren't supposed to cost 1 mana. I'm talking about academic espionage.
This is good.
Because the problem with espionage always to me was that you didn't really reliably get those cards. And the reason why espionage is good is because they're so cheap. So Stowaway draws them.
Elements, but
you had Tacknall's Whisker to make it happen. I mean, there was possibilities, but this is just another possibility to make it happen. Thief Rogue, historically not great.
I mean, you can. The mechanic has been used in Tempo Rogue just because they had good supported cards that just gave you an extra thing, which was acceptable.
Yeah.
In itself, no.
But the thing is that most of those cards were adding stuff to your hand.
Yeah.
So, I don't think this is gonna get a spot in the meta, but I definitely like it.
Looks interesting.
Oh, God. Speaking of things that are strong, however, there is a new legendary, which is a 4 mana 5/4 by the name of Frizzkindle Roost, with the battle cry, reduce the cost of dragons in your deck by 2.
Deuces.
It doesn't even say to a minimum of 1, which I don't think is broken in any way. But it is worth noting because a lot of effects do work that way.
Yeah, it could, though it doesn't say so. So they could. Some people like dragons like Brightwing would cost 0.
Yes.
If they came out, this looks pretty good.
Brightwing would cost 1. Brightwing
cost
is a 3 drop.
He's a 3 drop.
You're thinking of Fairy
Dragon.
Dragon.
He would cost 0.
And of course, what I thought of when I saw a very short snippet of the live stream where they showed this card off was that you could combine this with Lunas if you wanted to. I don't think that you will.
No.
But that would make all of your dragons cost 0.
Yeah, but like if they cost 1 or 0, it almost doesn't matter anymore. I think.
Yeah, no. It's just then you can play a lot of stuff on one turn. But more importantly, there is a lot of dragons in this expansion.
Yeah.
Go figure. And a lot of those are very impactful.
How about Battlecry repetition?
And expensive. So...
I can play this with Spirit of the Shark and Shadow Step it. I got reduce them all by 8.
Oh, boy, that's good.
You know, that might be more of an idea.
But even then, we've said there is a lot of classes that get a decent amount of dragon cards.
Yeah.
That get a decent amount of dragon synergy. And if you're playing a slower dragon deck, you probably like it if you can play a lot of your impact plays 2 turns earlier. Or even combine 2 of your impact plays in late game.
Yeah.
I
They
think
might be bringing combo back as an archetype. And I can't say I hate it just yet. Because I was one of the combo... I did play, in part at least, a combo when it was a thing. Hasn't really been a thing for the last couple of expansions, but maybe they bring it back.
I think this is a really strong card.
It is, yeah, of course it is. It looks pretty good.
Vanilla stats, and it supports like kind of the archetype that they're going for this expansion, so...
Hellish Arena card also.
And it's neutral, which, you know...
Oh yeah, a lot of room to do stuff.
Next up, we've got 1 mana 0/5 Depth Charge. At the start of your turn, deal 5 damage to all minions.
It's Doomsayer on turn 1.
It is a worse Doomsayer.
The worst Doomsayer?
With a potential... Well, it only deals 5 damage.
It might be better Doomsayer.
It only deals 5
It's
damage,
a
just
1-drop.
less health.
You can't kill it. If I play this on 1, you cannot kill it.
Well, no. But do you want to play it on 1?
Yeah. If I'm controlling against an aggro deck, I play this on 1, Doomsayer on 2. And you can't play anything until... Just hypothetically, you can't play anything until at least turn 3.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Doomsayer is going to be better at its job than this. This doesn't go through Divine Shields. This doesn't go through High Elf minions as effectively. The one upside of this is it can be buffed, and it'll live.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't die, it just takes 5 damage from its own effect.
Exactly.
Which is an interesting thought. Maybe that is something you can incorporate into a control type strategy. Maybe something like some like a Divine Spirit and then just...
Yeah, because Divine Spirit 2-3 times and just have it wipe out the board every time.
Yep. And at that point it's more like the whole Missile Launcher Venomizer combo.
Yep.
Although
again, sort of thing.
Still slightly weaker, but
interesting.
Cheaper for sure.
Yep.
I don't think this is gonna be a hugely impactful card, but it's definitely interesting.
Seems fun. Tentacle Master is interesting.
Tentacled Menace.
Oh, Menace. Wait, I'm not too far away from the screen. I'm gonna let JJ
5 mana 6/5 Battle Cry. Each player draws a card. Swap their costs.
This might be a very good control card.
I was about to say this goes in control, obviously.
Absolutely. You face an aggro deck, and all of a sudden you dig an 8 mana Murloc War Leader, you have at it. And I got a 3 mana Twisting Nether.
Because as the control deck, your cards on average are going to be significantly more expensive. And you're going to hinder the aggro deck a lot with increasing their stuff's cost. Yeah. To be fair, they are going to draw extra cards, so it doesn't really hinder them that much. But if it's a key piece to their strategy in some decks, like Prismatic Lens, something like that, then it could still very much hurt them. And
sometimes you might be able to tell what card it was from the cost.
Yeah, at the very least, you're going to be able to infer somewhat what it was.
And you know what their cards cost is also.
And your card is going to be significantly cheaper most of the time if you're playing this in the correct deck.
Yeah.
And once again, I think that playing your impact plays earlier could be a very strong effect.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think this has potential.
Yeah.
By the way, this Hearthstone report is sponsored by Beverage. Drink Beverage.
Yes. Next up, we've got a 3 mana 3/2 Hunter weapon. Stormhammer. Doesn't lose your ability while you control a dragon.
That's a weapon. That's how you do a weapon. That thing is awesome.
Yeah.
That is such a good card.
Again, a 3 mana 3/2 with an upside, that's just kind of standard weapon stuff. But what an upside it is.
Goddamn.
I mean, compare this to Eaglehorn Bow.
Yeah.
It's
easy.
kind of the same idea, but the Eaglehorn Bow feels really hard to exploit because most of the time people will just play around your secrets.
Yeah. They just won't trigger them when you have a bow with 1 health.
Yeah, so...
This is
a lot more exploitable.
I like this. This is a good card.
I also do like
this.
this.
Good weapon, dude. Stormhammer. Good card.
Strong card, good card, dragon meta.
Yeah.
Emrys time. Probably not Emrys time. But...
Yeah, no. Let's try it, though.
Next up, 3 mana 3/3 legendary for Priest Mind Flayer card.
Kari.
Battlecry, choose an enemy minion. Death Rattle, summon a new copy of it.
And new copy, the way I understand it, means an unbuffed copy, so a base copy.
I would think so, yes.
So say you have you pick a minion that was Blessing of Kings, and it will summon the base copy of it.
Which can go both ways, especially I guess not as much with a priest, but at the very least you have a lot of silence effects and stuff like that. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. You have debuffs, you have silences, and getting a copy of an enemy minion,
which is
not a bad thing.
Pretty good. I don't hate it. Looks.
I mean, it's basically a weaker Sylvanas, but cheaper.
Is it weaker? I mean, you don't steal it, but it's cheaper. And you get to pick. That's important. You get to pick the minion.
That's true.
And then no matter what happens, like if their minion's dead, it doesn't matter. You get to pick the minion. Say you have a 10/10. I'll pick it. I can then kill it the same turn. Cast Shadow or Death. And when my Mind Flayer dies, I still get it.
Yes.
That's important. This might be better than Sylvanas.
Maybe. But it's definitely a very interesting card.
Yes.
You alluded to Duskbreaker earlier.
Duskbreaker.
This still isn't quite it, but it's Chrono Breaker.
It's Chrono Breaker.
5 mana, 4/5 dragon for a priest that says Death Rattle. If you're holding a dragon, deal 3 damage to all enemy minions. Difference, of course, being this is a Death Rattle.
And he does it to enemy minions only.
Yes. So, situationally better, but you have to kill it first, or you have to trigger the Death Rattle, which makes it significantly worse.
It's definitely quite significantly worse than Duskbreaker.
It is, yeah.
Because of Death Rattle Battlecry in a very time-reliant effect, like dealing 3 to the board. The Battlecry Death Rattle...
I also don't think we have a Death Rattle trigger for Priest right now, do we?
Other than killing the thing? No.
Yeah.
We might not.
Because if this was like a mech for Hunter,
then
this would be significantly better, because then you would just be like, oh yeah, let me just Fireworks tech it or something. Or like 9 lives it, which doesn't even have to be a mech.
Livatron. A lot of stuff to do.
But this is not horrible, but it's still a little hard to play around.
I honestly don't think so. We'll see.
I don't think it's gonna find a place either. What might find a place is the 3 mana 2/3 dragon for Paladin, which is the Bronze Explorer that has Lifesteal and Battlecry Discover a Dragon.
Discover a Bronze Explorer.
Well, optimally, yeah. So we know that Paladins like their healing stuff, and we know that this expansion likes their dragon stuff. Yeah. So it seems like there's a lot of stuff to like about this card.
It seems like this is a very good pivot card. It looks It will never be an overpowered card. I think this is a really great design card. Like design wise, this is one of the definition of a 5-star card. It's decently balanced. It can be very strong in the right meta, can be not so strong in the incorrect meta. So this is a good card.
It's like Stonehill Defender, but for dragons.
Overall, just a good card.
Speaking of dragons, Cobalt Spellkin. Wow.
Hey.
5 mana 3/5 dragon. Battlecry, add 2 1-cost spells from your class to your hand.
From your own class.
Rogues are not gonna like that part of the card, but who is gonna like it are gonna be mages.
Yeah.
Which I think is the main use for this. Maybe priest.
Perhaps.
Because you can get Power Word Shield and Inner Fire.
And those go well.
So if you're trying to do OTK priest, I think this might be an inclusion.
Yeah, I think if you do OTK, dragons lend themselves well for that anyway.
Yeah.
This seems like a clear play. If you do Inner Fire Priest, this seems like an auto-include. I think.
But also, again, the whole like tempo, small spell mage idea could very well also profit from this. A lot of the 1 mana spells in mage, as a matter of fact, generate more spells. Yeah. So, yeah, magic trick.
How reliable is it to get upgrade in Pirate Anchor Warrior with this? How many 1-cost spells does Warrior have?
Well, you could also get Omega Assembly, which is definitely one.
Still okay.
There isn't that many.
There isn't that many.
I would think.
I mean, classes not a lot of classes have a lot of 1-cost spells. Like you have a decently reliable pool. Yeah, that makes this card stronger.
And again, I think that primarily priest and mage are going to use this.
Yeah,
but
I would think so.
It's definitely a good card all around. It's also one of those things that you never really quite hate to see off of your discoveries.
Yeah.
Because every class has the Explorer dragon that discovers another dragon, So this sometimes just might be the pick. Like, it has okay stats, it has a good upside, yeah. So, in decks that run Discovers anyways, you might want that. Well, there we go.
Got it.
Evil Quartermaster, 3 mana, 2/3 warrior minion, battle cry, add a lackey to your hand, gain 3 armor.
That looks pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, 1 mana to get a random lackey is round about what we'd expect.
Yeah.
You also get some extra armor on top of it.
You take the armor. It's not bad.
It's a little counterintuitive because lackeys tend to be more aggressive strategies, but we have seen decks like Quest Charm makes a very good use of lackeys in not so aggressive strategies.
This might go into an aggressive warrior, though. We'll take the armor. We're going to attack with our weapon a bunch, so we'll take the armor.
Yeah, that's true.
And we'll take a lackey for good stats.
Definitely taking the lackey, yeah. Overall, pretty good card. We'll see if it finds a place.
I think it's pretty good.
Speaking of armor,
Yeah.
5 mana, 5/5 Plate Breaker. Battle cry, destroy your opponent's armor.
That's such a tech card.
I know.
That's such a tech card. Man, I don't know what to think about this card. I don't know.
Funnily enough, this together with Alexstrasza is pretty enough Alexstrasza.
Yes, that's true. Alexstrasza used to kill armor.
But on a more important note, I mean, this is kind of how you kill warriors, I guess.
Yeah, it seems like it.
I
Big control warriors, when they assemble a lot of armor, it definitely can help.
I don't see a place for this in the meta, honestly.
Well, we don't know how the meta's gonna look. It seems like there's not a lot of armor meta going on, though.
Which is the point, right? You'd have to have either one really dominant or multiple somewhat dominant decks that make a lot of use of armor for this to be worth it.
Also, this, by the way, this completely kills Thakan, like as an idea, because if you play like your Shrivala Pally and play Thakan, and you just get hit with this one on 5. Thackle, sorry. Thakan is the one.
I was slightly confused for a second. I was like,
Thackle.
Your 4/4 lackeys don't do anything to me.
Yeah, when you get hit with this one on 5 and your Shrivala is nowhere near ready, you might have problems.
I feel like that's like the one thing.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. Wormrest Purifier, 2 mana, 3/2 neutral minion. Battlecry, transform all neutral cards in your deck into random cards from your class.
Huh. Is this like sort of the anti-renounce?
It's kind of reverse renounce. And it goes with the all paladin archetype thingy that they're gonna push like towards the end of this card review thing. But generally I think this is somewhat weak. It might be a decent arena card.
It might be, yeah, because class cards tend to be a little bit stronger than neutral cards, but then you get random cards. That makes it... See, random class cards are probably weaker than selectively pick neutral cards.
Yes, slightly. But she does have arena stats, and, you know, I could see it in arena.
Yeah.
I'm likely not seeing it in constructed, but we never know.
We'll see.
Embiggen, 0 mana, druid spell. Give all minions in your deck +2/+2. They cost 1 more. And very important, up to 10.
Up to 10. So it can't put stuff out of range for you. This card is dangerous.
Remember...
Kaliseth? Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
I remember. And remember how Shadow Step and Kaliseth once put your win rate to over 70%?
Oh boy. You know that the worst thing that can happen to you is like you're facing Rogue and it's like Kaliseth, Shadow Step, Kaliseth, Shadow Step, Kaliseth.
What? If you then can win instantly, you're pretty much done. So I don't know, man. This so the cost increase is significant, of course. More for everything, but
again, this is maybe not meant for the most aggressive decks. This is something that goes into slightly slower mid-range to control decks.
Yeah.
If you're playing this in theory, this could even go in an aggressive deck, with the idea that you just don't play it early if you get it early, and by the time you're basically kind of done curving out, you embiggen.
And twice, maybe?
Optimally twice, yeah. And I don't hate it, because once you're at a point where you're just kind of top decking, you want the most impactful things you can get. Yeah. And sometimes that's just stats.
That's stats.
Like, if you're playing Token Druid and you're kind of running out of stuff to do.
Yeah.
Playing Biggin, you have Vargoth on the board or something.
It looks
all of a sudden,
good.
everything has +4/+4. Don't mind if I do.
Yeah, it looks good. I don't hate it.
Yeah, not bad. Speaking of Token Druid, Guru the Might Tree, 7 mana 5/10 Taunt Battle Cry for the rest of the game. Your treants have +1/+1.
I swear to God, this is my card. I made a very similar card. And I posted it on Custom Hearthstone, and I put it in our Discord, and they copied it. That is my card. Remember? Tree. It was. I think it was a 3 mana 15. The stats were relevant. It was a big tree. It had taunt, and it buffed all your treants. It was a legend, the Druid legendary. Is that true?
Well, yeah, it's not that complicated of an idea. I mean, Druids have big trees with taunt, and Druids do tree and stuff. It's not the most far-fetched.
This is my card. I swear it is. I'll post it on Discord again if I find it. I think I still have it. That's my card. It's so similar. This is my card, man. Give me some credit, Blizzard. Why couldn't I get this for a card reveal, huh? For TrashcanTV. I made it, so let me reveal it. That's my card. I swear, dude. That's plagiarism. God. But other than that, how good is this card?
I mean, they've been pushing Treant Druid for a while. We still are gonna have cards like Mulch Muncher and all the other Boomsday Tree and stuff in the game for a little while. That's 4 months. And
most importantly, I think Soul of the Forest.
Yeah, Soul of the Forest is always gonna be there. You have the twin spell one the name escapes me right now for some reason.
That is Soul of the Forest.
Wait, what was I thinking of? No. That.
What were you thinking?
So the Forest is the one that summons 2/2 treants as Death Rattle.
What? No. Is it?
Yes. Like Soul of the Murloc, but bigger. You know?
Yeah. What is it again? The one that summons 5/2/2s.
Yes.
Force 8.
Force 8.
And this, by the way, this card curves into it.
Yes.
Which is pretty important. Maybe we'll just play this in token. Just alright.
Yeah, and again, maybe the token druid will pivot more towards treant synergies a little bit.
Mm-hmm. It will get cards like Force of Nature over the hump, so to speak.
Exactly. I could see this. And we got more token druid stuff as well.
Yeah.
Because our token druid got tree enforcements.
Yeah.
I like bad puns way too much. But this is a 1 mana druid spell. Choose one. We got a lot of synergy for that. Yeah. Give a minion +2 health and taunt. That's okay. Yeah. Or summon a 2/2 treant.
This is a card that's incredibly strong for what it does, but at a low risk of being game-breakingly strong because of the effect being somewhat minor in the bigger picture. But it's a very strong card. I mean, just the 1 mana 2/2 is really good.
Dude, it's Enchanted Raven all over again.
It's pretty good.
Like, 1 mana 2/2, pretty good. Mm-hmm. Slightly overstated. I love it. Give a minion +2 health and taunt.
Also really good.
Also pretty good more in the late game, but you know, it's a thing.
It's a very good card.
And with Guru, it summons a 3/3. Not a 1 or anything, but you know.
It's pretty good. And
again, with Token Druid, cheap minions are somewhat impactful. Mm-hmm. And having the other upside is nice. Yeah. You get cards like Keeper Soladras in Token, which would, you know,
be good.
Really good value with this.
Be pretty good.
This goes with Quest, potentially. There's just a lot of use for this card.
Absolutely.
Another card where there might be use for is the 3 mana 3/4 Blowtorch Saboteur, which has Battlecry, your opponent's next hero power cost 3.
I like this as a tech option.
I like this a lot more than the other Saboteur.
The Unseen?
The old one that said like...
your opponent casts a spell from their hand.
No. The old one. The one which was like...
okay.
On your next turn, your opponent's hero power costs 5 or something.
Yeah, that one.
Which is like... Yes, but then you're just not going to use it for a turn.
Yeah.
This one just says your next. Your opponent's next.
So that sticks around until they use it.
Yeah.
I like it.
It also costs 3 flat, which might be relevant in some cases where like costs are reduced, maybe more in Wild than in Standard.
Strong arena card for sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's going to be a tech card. If there's a very specific combo, like the like there was with the Paladin 4 Horsemen thing where you rely on the hero power, then this might be it, but I doubt it.
I mean, if you remember OTK Paladin, they really weren't, like, holding out for, like, getting that 1 mana cheaper situation.
Well, in the Gallywax package it was.
Okay, fair
when
enough.
you tried to really put hero power 4 times in the turn.
Oh yeah, I remember the one where you just got.
Yeah, that was the newer one, but the old school one it ran Gallywax, and man, we were.
Oh boy,
pushing 4 hero powers.
I think this is more often than not a good arena card,
Yeah.
and maybe a good tempo card in some decks, but
I don't think you'll see much constructive play, honestly.
yeah, I don't think so, but maybe in the right situation. Dragon Maw Poacher, 4 mana, 4/4 battle cry. If your opponent controls a dragon, gains +4/+4 and rush.
What? That's crazy. That card is madness, dude.
I think with all the strong dragon stuff, they just want to get more dragon counters in there simultaneously. Kind of goes alongside Dragon Slayer, by the way.
Yeah.
I believe that card is still in standard.
Dragon Slayer?
Isn't it?
No. I think it was in Kobolds, dude.
Might not be. Anyways, so
I'm gonna look that up.
Dragon
But I
Tech.
thought it was in Kobolds.
Dragon Tech.
This
important.
stuff, man. This card is boy. That card is hell.
And noteworthy that most of the impactful dragons are either 8/8s or 4/12s. So the 8/8s are going to be killed with this.
Oh yeah.
And with your Spirit of the Shark that you just talked about earlier.
Yeah.
This also kills the 4/12s.
Correct. Which is
I'm not saying that you're running Spirit of the Shark to synergize with your tech cards, but you know.
Which is pretty good. Yeah. Dragon Slayer was in Kobolds, yes.
Yeah.
So it's out.
See, it was so unimpactful I didn't know which set it was in.
Yes, it was a decent arena.
Yeah. Dark Sky.
Dark Sky.
3 mana, deal 1 damage to a random minion. Repeat for each card in your hand.
They got fell meteorites.
Yes, the point is, this is more handlock stuff.
I like this card. I think it's pretty good.
It is pretty good.
Yeah, it seems very good. People said this is not very strong. I think this can be good.
This is slightly weaker, but also cheaper Volcano. That's the comparison.
Yeah, the comparison that came up to me first was actually Reno, the new mage hero.
Fair enough. This one does specifically target all minions, so I think Volcano is the fairer comparison. Wait, Volcano... Yeah,
Volcano also targets all minions.
And remember, this can deal up to 11 points of damage.
Yeah, with the new hand size.
Yep.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
And I mean, even if it's stealing 9.
Yeah, you'll just tap on turn 2, and you got a bunch of... And then you probably clear the board on 3.
Again, this is a control card,
Yeah.
so that the question will be how much are we going to see control warlocks. But if there is one, this is arguably an auto-include.
Yeah, then it's going to have to compete with Hellfire, pretty much. That's where the comparison is.
Yeah, but Hellfire is more expensive, it deals damage to your own face.
Yeah, but it does consistent 3 to the board.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Faceless Corruptor, 5 mana, 5/4, Rush, and here's a battle cry. Battle cry, transform one of your minions into a copy of this.
Huh. Which means it gets Rush.
Yes. And 5/4 stats.
So you can attack with a thing, hit it with Faceless Corruptor, and it can attack again because it has Rush.
Yes.
Boy.
And remember, lackeys exist.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna... This is in a meta, or in a rotation, that has a lot of 1/1s going around.
Yeah.
Not saying that... I mean, usually there's always some kind of 1/1 tokens, but especially with lackeys.
Yeah.
And this, with a lackey, is kind of like that one guy.
Yeah.
The evil recruiter. A little more expensive,
But there's Rush,
Rush.
Yeah, Lackey's one option. The other one is just get insane value out of you make a trade on the board. Maybe you leave something alive with 1 health, and you put it on this, and it takes another thing.
And that's the thing. Flexibility.
Yeah. A bit like Reborn.
This might actually go into the Lackey Zoo Warlock.
It might. We'll have to try this out.
Because there's a lot of low stated minions in there.
This might go into a lot of things. If it fits, we'll see.
A card that I don't know what to think about exactly is, however, the 8 mana 8/8 Dragon Legendary for Priest, which is Moruzant the Infinite. Battle Cry. Play the cards your opponent played last turn.
What does this counter? What do we counter with this? What do we try to counter with this?
I think this is more often than not just a big value card.
Yeah. Yeah, you could snipe if they play hero card or something, like play Dr. Boom.
Yeah. Or Galakrond.
Galakrond? Yeah.
Any Galakrond, really. Also just, again, this is an 8 mana 8/8. It's kind of like Tess in some ways, where it's just like...
It replaces a bunch of stuff.
You play this and you get some spells that might not go the exact directions that you want them to go, and like some stats on the board.
You can replay a Shadowbog.
Oh boy.
Huh.
I mean, it says
not dead.
Play. So
Yeah.
Have you seen the card in action?
No, but if it says play, it's gonna repeat. I mean, it's gonna repeat your battle cries, not his battle cries, but your battle cries.
Because I'm pretty sure cards like Tess and the like don't recast other battle cries. I mean, Tess doesn't for sure.
I feel like it should, but I don't know.
I would expect it to not, because then broken stuff can happen.
Yeah.
But even then, it's still a lot of stats that you're potentially getting out of minions, and then spells as well.
We'll see. But it looks interesting.
Evasive Feywing. This is Fairy Dragon, but +2 to all the numbers.
Not very good. I don't think this is very good. In Constructed. It's decent in Arena.
It's pretty much exactly as good as Fairy Dragon.
Yeah, it's just a good card, but like a decent card in Arena. But
the thing is, if you're building a dragon deck, and there's not enough dragons to put in your deck, maybe you're putting this.
Maybe it's probably more going to be discovered more often than actually played in Constructed.
But even then, it's a decent discovery. Yeah. Utgard Grapple Sniper.
Ooh.
6 mana 5/5. Battle Cry. Both players draw a card. If it's a dragon, summon it.
So the idea is obviously play in your dragon deck.
Mm-hmm.
And if your opponent doesn't play a dragon deck, you have a chance of summoning a minion. Or recruiting, essentially, while your opponent only gets to draw. Which is pretty good.
Yes. But it's also only then pretty good, so this is purely a card for dragon decks, and depending on how popular dragon decks are in the meta, you might not even play it.
Correct.
So, you know. Speaking of dragons, 5 mana 5/5, big ol' well.
Big ol' well.
Battle Cry, draw a card.
I don't know what this is.
This is what Azure Drake has become.
This somewhere... This is like... Is there some type of combo thing that makes this good? I don't think so. Belgrade draw a card that's like... This is the higher the stats of the minion that's attached to it, the cost scales with it, obviously, the less valuable the battle cry becomes, respectively.
Yeah.
If you got Novice Engineer, you're paying 2 mana for drawing a card and 1/1 stats.
Yeah, Novice Engineer is more understated, but still.
Yeah.
I mean, again,
Novice Engineer is still better.
This is worse Azure Drake.
Yeah. No, Novice Engineer is better than this.
Azure Drake was Hall of Fame for this. Like, what the fuck?
I don't know, man.
6 mana 5/3, Evasive Worm, also dragon. Divine Shield, Rush, can be targeted by spells or hero powers.
See, you should claim that this is St. Alvin. Because it basically is your boy St. Alvin, almost.
Yeah, that's true.
So, people be copying our TrashcanTV's own original cards left, right, and center now. Maybe.
Kind of. Well, I mean, he had Rush and can't be targeted. He had also
Wind
Fury, and he didn't have Divine Shield.
That's true.
And he was not a dragon.
Yeah. He was a beast.
And he had, I believe, because he had Wind Fury, he had more defensive stats.
He was a 4/2, I believe. Well, I don't know. This looks pretty good. Just Divine Shield and Rush is very good.
Yes. Divine Shield Rush is pretty good. Can be targeted is always a nice upside. It's usually a nice upside, actually, because, you can't buff it either. But
pretty much. Is this better than, like, Militia Commander? Maybe.
No.
No?
I don't think so.
I don't know, man. Dragon deck. It's close.
I mean, again, I think this is the kind of card that's going to replace something like Restless Mummy or Militia Commander in a dragon deck.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But outside of a dragon deck, I don't think so.
No. Costs 1 more. I think with the rush things, the rush removal stuff in the control decks, the 1 cost increase is somewhat significant. But we'll see. It's definitely a good card. I like it. Arena very strong.
Yeah. Strength and numbers. 1 mana Druid side quest. Spend 10 mana on minions. That's easily doable. Yeah. Reward, summon a minion from your deck.
Yeah. And obviously we're thinking combo stuff here, right? Is there a broken combo with 2 minions somehow on the same...
I'm just thinking, like, big things coming out of your deck.
I mean, I'm obviously thinking this Innervate, play a 10 mana minion, and then summon another one, and then someone have a combo go off.
Well, yeah, but you can only do that if you Baleful Banker the other minion in or something, and your deck is empty and all. Because
you have to set it up,
You're not going to reliably get a specific minion in your deck as like the sole minion.
Yeah.
I'm thinking more along the lines of just like maybe there is a deck that only has big minions and some spells.
Yeah.
And it's like, like summoner type of deck when it's like Recruit Hunter back in the day, or like a reverse version of the whole summoner idea where it's like you only run big spells and minions.
Yeah.
So
see, I'm obviously first thing I'm thinking is always combo when I see recruit big stuff potentially. So you play the side quest, play 9 mana worth of minions basically. Next turn you play one cost minions. You recruit your Malagos, and then you play all the damage spells.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're better off trying to use the battle cries to reduce stuff.
Yeah,
and
maybe.
Yeah, I don't think this has a huge combo potential, but it might just be good value in a deck that is very top heavy to begin with.
Yeah, definitely not something you would want with Kuhn in the meta though.
Yeah, but he's rotating out.
He's out, yeah. Scale Rider.
3 mana, 3/3, battle cry. If you're holding a dragon, deal 2 damage. Important, this can go face. I'm not sure if it's that important. I don't think it's intended to go face primarily.
Compared to Weaponized Wasp, holding a dragon versus controlling a lack, I think holding a dragon is a bit more doable in the upcoming meta, though they're somewhat comparable. It's a neutral card, so it's a pretty good one.
I mean, it probably is going to go in Quest Shaman if there is a dragon theme to that.
I'm not sure if it goes in Quest Shaman, actually.
I mean, depends on if there's going to be enough dragons.
I don't think there's much space to put a lot of dragons, because you need all the damaging...
Maybe someone's going to just specifically try to build a Quest Dragon Shaman.
You could try that.
Quest Shaman, whatever you want to call it.
You could try it. But I think Weaponized Wasp in that case might still be better.
One thing that I want to point out here is, you know how you always give your opponent a little bit of information by saying that you're holding a dragon?
Yeah.
Well, the 4 mana 2/5 Wing Commander tells your opponent exactly how many dragons you're holding. Has +2 attack for each dragon in your hand.
But it's pretty good, though.
It's pretty good. It's going to give up some information, but it's pretty good.
If you're holding a handful of dragons, this is a hell of a minion.
Can't help but notice that a lot of those are not dragons, though.
That's true.
So if you're holding a dragon cards, mostly not being dragons, makes them weaker. Yeah. Because a lot of the old ones that did have the if you're holding a dragon were also dragons. So,
This is pretty good, though. Like, you just hold a bunch of dragons and you play this on 4?
I mean, yeah.
Looks hellacious.
We knew dragons were coming. Yeah, dragons were a big thing here.
They're descending, yeah.
We saw a couple of mechs in between there, which isn't too surprising since we have a strong mech presence in the meta. Where are pirates coming from?
Yeah, pirates.
We had a pirate-related weapon already today, which was a warrior. Now we're getting a pirate for rogue.
Historically speaking, both Hearthstone and actual history, pirates hit the hardest when you don't expect them.
Huh. 1 mana 1/1 rogue pirate. Battle cry. Add 2 1/1 pirates to your hand.
Which I imagine costs 1 mana also.
Yeah, I would think so.
Pirates in rogue. I don't know.
I don't think this is a good card unless you really need the extra pirates on your hand.
Yeah.
Because this is like... I would say this is a worse Firefly just from like a stats and stuff standpoint.
Compared to Acorn Bearer?
I think Acorn Bearer is better for a variety of reasons. One big one being the...
+1 stat. The attack.
The +1 attack stat, which makes it a lot more aggressive. And also the fact that you do have a reason for something like Whispering Woods to want an early big hand. Yeah.
Though this is a battle cry, so you reliably have the 2 pirates.
Yes.
The turn after, which with Acorn Bearer to death early you don't. I don't know. The deck really has to be reasonable. There has to be more support for this to be sensible to play.
Speaking of decks that are getting support to be played, remember Odd Paladin?
Maybe.
Righteous Cause, Paladin side quest. Summon 5 minions, reward, give your minions +1/+1.
Okay. This goes in Wild Odd Pally.
I mean, yeah.
This goes in Wild Odd Pally, big time. Man, this is good. You play this on 1 basically, then you push hero power on 2, you push hero power on 3 and play like Lost in the Jungle. And you got a board full of 2/2 recruits.
No. On 3, what you're doing is you're playing the Zealot, and then you're power.
Sure, that also works.
Then you have a Brazen Zealot that's like
that's pretty huge.
What is it? Like a 5/2
attack.
Yeah. You know.
Not bad. Looks pretty good. I'm not sure this one. I think this might be a pretty good arena card.
Yeah, I think this is gonna depend on if there is an aggressive Paladin archetype. If there's an aggressive archetype, you're probably gonna go wide on the board. The moment you go wide and get the buff, it's good. Yeah. The unfortunate moment where your opponent clears the board with you having 1 tick left is unfortunate.
That's true.
So you might want to try getting as many minions down in one go as you can.
Ultimately, you'd get summon 5 minions the same turn you play this quest immediately.
Yeah, either that or you play like 1 or 2, and even if you only play 3 while it procs, you still get a good value off of it. Speaking of Paladin cards and summoning, Skyclaw. 3 mana, 1/2 mech, you might wonder. But it has your other mechs have +1 attack. That's nice. Battlecry, summon 2 1/1 microcopters.
Which are effectively 2/1s.
Exactly. Which means you're getting 5/4 in stats for 3.
That's pretty good.
That is in fact pretty good. It synergizes with stuff that wants you to go wide, like Raid Leader or the new side quest. It synergizes with other mechs that exist. And as long as the Skyclaw itself doesn't die, that's really good.
Oh, yeah.
When it does die, unfortunate, but hey.
Tough.
If you played a 3-drop, your opponent paid like 2 or 3 mana to remove it, and you still get 2 1/1s left over,
we'll take it.
I'll consider that a win.
Pretty good.
Yeah, if there is going to be a aggressive mech paladin, this goes in. If not, then
it's on the bubble.
1 mana, Storm's Wrath. Give your minions +1/+1, overload 1, and if you couldn't tell by the overload in the color, it's a shaman spell. I mean, aggressive overload stuff, we talked about it.
It looks pretty good. I think comparison comes to mind would be like Mark of the Lotus.
Yep.
But 1 mana, give everything +1/+1 on the whiteboard is potentially pretty good.
Yeah, and again, we have stuff like Vicina's is in the standard. You have... As a matter of fact, he's going to be in the standard even after the new year. And we have already seen other overload synergies in this set. As a matter of fact, 1 mana, 1/3 elemental, 4 shaman, surging tempest, has +1 attack while you have overloaded mana crystals.
That's pretty good for
Just wanted to sneak that in there real quickly while I'm talking about the overload shaman.
I'm trying to piece stuff together here again. Get a bunch of minions out on the board, Vicina, and 2 of this.
Yep. Also, goes in a deck with, of course, maybe the surging tempest. Definitely Lickham. Definitely Sludge Slurper.
Yeah.
Very likely the 5 mana 5/5 that we've seen earlier.
Yeah.
Thunderhead. Dude, Thunderhead. Thunderhead. Storm's Wrath twice.
Volcanic Burst.
You have a board.
Voltaic Burst.
Yeah.
They got Rush too. You got stuff, man. There looks to be an idea here.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. Sludge Slurper.
I said that, I believe.
You did? Okay, always Sludge Slurper. That's just a
general note. I don't think I've seen a shaman deck since Sludge Slurper came out that
didn't play him.
Doesn't have a good reason not to play him.
That's true.
5 mana, 3/3, Corrupt Elementalist. Battlecry, Invoke Galakrond. Twice.
Gosus. Twice, man. That's a lot of invocation.
So Invoking, of course, does trigger the hero power. The hero power for the Shaman Galakrond is summon a 2/1 elemental with Rush. So, with the Battlecry...
With that alone, this card is good.
Noteworthy, of course, it only works if Galakrond is in your deck, I believe, hand as well, but just not actually played yet. Yeah. So, that's the kind of downside here, because otherwise it's just really strong.
You also upgrade your Galakrond instantly.
Exactly.
And you get the 2/2/1s with Rush, which is already worth it. Looks like a good card. If Galakrond Shaman is anything, this is in it for sure.
Yep. Lightforged Zealot. 4 mana, 4/2. Battlecry. If your deck has no neutral cards, equip a 4/2 True Silver Champion.
So we know that, of course.
True Silver Champion, of course, heals you for 2 whenever you attack. And this is what I was talking about. Yeah. No neutral cards. This is where the Wormrest Purifier could come in.
Potentially.
I don't think you want to do that. I think if you're running the no neutral card Paladin, you're probably gonna just run it as no neutral cards from the get-go.
Maybe.
Because relying on drawing a specific card just to make that happen is kind of...
Which itself is a neutral card, by the way. So if you don't draw it, it not only does it not enable your thing, it specifically kills your thing.
Yep.
Don't want none of it.
But, Lightforged cards are a theme, and if you want to play a deck around it, I guess you can try.
We'll take it. Another one, by the way.
Lightforged Crusader, 7-mana, 7/7 Battlecry. If your deck has no neutral cards, add 5 random Paladin cards to your hand.
5 Paladin cards, a lot of Paladin cards.
I was about to say, this is the one that maybe makes it worth it. Like, getting the True Silver is a big impact play, it's nice and all, but Lightforged Crusader is where the value comes in.
Oh, for sure.
And value is what you need with this kind of deck.
Value.
I'm still not sure if it's going to happen. As a matter of fact, I think it's not.
Yeah, I don't see it. Don't see it at this point.
But,
Restriction seems kind of...
There's definitely an idea there.
Yeah.
Unfortunate thing is that if they expand upon it next year, that these two are going to rotate before the other ones do. Uh-huh. So, if they're trying to establish it over a couple of expansions as a theme, I would have maybe suggested putting them in the next expansion.
Yeah, starting on the year.
Because I don't see
it's a new thing. It's a completely new mechanic.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Maybe this is going to be part of the class identity of Paladin going forward.
Only playing
being
Paladin
pure.
Stuff. Yeah, being racist, essentially.
Yeah.
That's so Paladin.
I was about to say that sounds like Paladins, right? Like Paladins, Crusaders, like the Inquisition.
Okay, stop it. Now let's talk about something else.
Let's talk about Galakrond, or more specifically...
Start yapping about segregation and stuff.
The Invocation of Frost. You're referencing something that doesn't happen.
Yeah. Watch the podcast on Saturday, you know what.
Freeze an enemy, invoke Galakrond. I don't think Freeze Shaman is going to be a thing.
Yeah, no, Freeze Shaman's not a thing, but this card invokes Galakrond, which is already worth it because it summons a 2/1 with Rush.
It summons a 2/1 with Rush.
Yeah, and you get a freeze
on
something.
turn 1.
Yeah, and you get a freeze something with something. That's a pretty good card.
It also freezes, like the Glacial Shard or
Similar...
Ray of Frost.
Yeah, it's just a better Glacial Shard, strictly. Like, exactly strictly. Because it's an elemental, it's a 2/1, it freezes, but this one has Rush.
It's not strictly better because once Galakrond is played, it's going to be worse. But yes. Yeah. Speaking of Galakrond, Galakrond the Tempest.
What up?
Summon 2/2/2 storms with Rush. Those are also elementals, by the way.
Yes, and they're upgradable.
Invoke twice to upgrade. I think it summons 4/4s and 8/8s. Because if it summoned 8 of them,
be too much.
That would be too much.
Doesn't happen.
Honestly,
this might be the weakest of the Galakronds.
And of course, the strongest version is also going to get equipped a 5/2 Claw.
Mm-hmm. Those still.
It might be one of the weaker Galakronds, but it's worth noting that the Galakronds are inherently a bit of a slower deck, and by invoking this one, you help control the board.
Yeah, because of the rust you get with it.
So, it might be still more feasible than, say, the Priest Galakrond, which just adds random Priest cards to your hand. And while the battle cry of just destroying everything is very strong...
So maybe you play this just in the Control Shaman? Like, you play Control Shaman as it is, but put the Galakrond package in, like 7 cards, and then play Hagatha for the late game?
Potentially, yeah.
Maybe. Seems feasible. What else we got?
We got Dragon's Pack. Speaking of control tools for Galakrond Shaman, it's summon 2/3 Spirit Wolves. That sounds familiar.
Sounds very familiar.
With Taunt. Mm-hmm. If you've invoked twice, give them +3/+3.
Alright.
2 things to note, of course. This is more expensive than regular Spirit Wolves. It doesn't overload, and it buffs them if you've invoked twice.
It seems pretty good.
It seems pretty good. It seems
good card.
In a Galakrond deck, it seems better than regular Spirit Wolves.
It's sort of the same exact line that we say for every Galakrond Shaman card. If it's a deck, it goes into it.
Yeah.
Case.
Troll Bat Rider. 4-mana 3/3 Battlecry, deal 3 damage to a random enemy minion.
If it was aimed, it would be very strong.
Yes. I think this is one of those that is very relevant if it's like a one-on-one situation, or just as a general anti-aggro card to just deal a little bit with
I think it's going to be a good arena card.
That's what I was about to get at. I don't think it's going to be it's strong enough for Constructed, but it's a decent arena card, yeah.
Compared to the Light Plume Phoenix or something? Well, I don't know what it was called. It did 2 damage, but you can aim it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this isn't great. What could be great, though, is the Rolling Fireball. 5-mana mage spell. Deal 8 damage to a minion. Any excess damage continues to the left or right.
And I guess it keeps going like that.
Yes, and if it's at the edge, it only goes the way that there are actually minions.
Yeah,
so it can't fizzle.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So decks like Murloc Shaman are gonna be like, I have a board, and then you're gonna be like, no, you don't.
So you have a lot of stuff. This card now encourages aggro decks to pay a lot more attention to positioning again.
Exactly.
Like it did with Meteor, basically.
And this is honestly my favorite thing about this. Like, positioning matters. That adds just another layer to the game of Hearthstone.
It does.
Positioning hasn't mattered a lot lately, and now it does.
It has in Battlegrounds because everyone played Battlegrounds.
Well, yeah, but I mean in regular.
That's true.
Normal Hearthstone.
That's correct.
Because that's what we're talking about right now, of course. And there is also a new priest minion, which is the 1 mana 1/2 Disciple of Galakrond, Battlecry, Invoke Galakrond.
Oh, just a solid minion. Does it puts the Battlecry. It's a good card. Galakrond deck, priest deck is going to run it for sure.
Yeah. It adds a random priest card to your hand as per the Galakrond Battlecry.
Also, nothing else will run.
Hero power. So
this is the type of very unspectacular but reasonable cards that the expansion also needs.
I mean, this is the kind of stuff that priest does.
Yes. Grave
Rune. 4 mana, priest spell. Give a minion, death rattle, summon 2 copies of this.
Carnivorous Cube.
I mean, yes.
Oof. Cube flashbacks.
But
goddamn.
Maybe better?
Potentially. Because you didn't have to eat the minion first. You don't get to trigger the death rattle with it.
Exactly. That's exactly it, right? You don't get to trigger the death rattle of the thing, but you also don't destroy it, so...
It looks pretty good. I mean, this is good value.
Uh-huh.
I don't hate it. Put on Malagos, put on Valen. Throw fireworks, Have fun.
Yeah, also just put it on any big thing, and it's worthwhile.
Put it on Katrina Muerte. Put it on Coffin Crasher.
Boy.
If
you put it on Katrina Muerte and she dies, you have 2 Katrina Muertes who have the potential to each summon another Katrina Muerte.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Gains. Big time.
Yes.
I don't hate it.
Speaking of big things, 8 mana 8/8 Elemental Mana Giant.
Hey.
Costs 1 less for each card you played this game that didn't start in your deck.
So we have another giant.
And what a giant it is.
Mm-hmm.
Mage, notorious for generating spells, especially small ones. I've talked about this already.
It might go into one of the into that type of deck.
Dude, if the small spell mana cyclone sort of tempo mage becomes a thing, this thing's just free.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
It's kind of like Arcane Giant, but better.
Looks pretty good.
Not actually better, but
it's pretty good.
In that deck, it's better.
Yeah.
Speaking of elementals and mage, 1 mana elemental allies, side quest, play an elemental 2 turns in a row, kind of supporting the whole idea of you wanting to play an elemental after you've played an elemental. Reward, draw 3 spells from your deck.
And a lot of elementals have rotated out, but we're getting some new of them, and the giant obviously is one. So this is a side quest that seems worth playing, I think.
Yeah, I think the most unfortunate thing is that most of the ones that said if you played an elemental last turn are out.
Yeah, they came with Angora for the most part.
So in Wild, maybe, but in Standard, it's mostly just the fact that you play Mana Cyclone, and then the next turn you play Mana Giant.
Yeah, the reward is pretty good, though. Drawing 3 spells is pretty good.
Because those make sense successively. But,
We'll see. But looks pretty good.
Speaking of elementals, 1 mana 1/1 elemental for mage, Violet Spellwing, Death Rattle, add an Arcane Missile spell to your hand.
Is that like Baby Ronin sort of thing?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know.
I mean, it also is comparable to something like Crystalline Oracle, or there was others that did it.
This is good.
It's not bad. It's more reliable than getting a random spell. Arcane Missiles is an okay spell. Decent. It goes well with Elemental Allies. It goes well with Mana Giant.
Yeah, maybe.
So right now it seems like a lot of the spell generation and spell support is also elementals.
It's elemental based.
And elementals support spells, so Violet Spellwing, Mana Cyclone, Mana Giant, Elemental Allies, that all seems like it goes in the same deck.
It goes together, like an aggressive spell elemental mage, which sounds like a bit of a clusterfuck, but maybe it'll happen.
It sounds fun. I like it.
It definitely sounds interesting. We'll see if something can be brought off it.
I played Elemental Mage in the Angoro days.
The Angoro days when it was terrible.
Whispers of Evil.
Yeah.
This looks Christmassy. 0 mana, add a lackey to your hand.
That's pretty good.
Thanks, I'll take it.
Yeah, it's free lackey. Definitely will take it.
Also, it's a spell, so you can do spell-related stuff.
Spell-related.
I don't think there's much spell-related stuff to go around, but you know.
Christmas stuff going on. It's called Whispers of Evil. It's a funny card.
I think they're just dressed in winter stuff.
Yeah, I'll take it. I like it. Skybarge.
Yeah, 3 mana, 2/5 mech. After you summon a pirate, deal 2 damage to a random enemy minion. Wait a second.
Okay.
This card already exists.
Does it?
Kind of. Yeah, it's a canon. There's a...
Yeah.
That
canon,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what this is.
Similar idea. Pretty good, though. 3 mana, 2/5 mech.
Yeah, to a random enemy. Mm-hmm. So, you know.
Not terrible.
Get a lot of pirates. And
if you do pirates?
Kill your opponent's face.
This might be a
or
thing.
clear their board.
Might be pretty good. Also a good stat for that. Good stat line for that sort of idea.
Yeah.
With the high health. Parachute Brigand.
After you play a pirate, summon this minion from your hand. 2 mana, 2/2.
Hey. Patches.
Kinda.
Patches. Only from your hand.
Which is why it's not going to be nerfed to death, which is why it might actually be good.
Perhaps.
Well, I mean, it's a 2/2, so it's a little more impactful than getting the 1/1 patches.
Yeah.
But it does trigger Skybarge.
Yeah, it does. Is there a way to play pirate on 1?
I mean, there's a 1 mana pirate for rogue.
Yeah.
There is a Celsi deckhand on.
Man, you get this in your opening
everyone.
Hand? And the deckhand?
I mean, there's definitely 1 mana pirates. Yeah.
That's a pretty good mate. Ooh, that sounds pretty interesting. I don't hate it.
That's a high roll. I'm not a huge fan of the turn 1 high rolls. Because, as we said, like, some like Cal stuff, where it's like, you play it on 2 and all of a sudden you basically win.
Yeah.
It's like, true. I mean, this is not as impactful. Yeah.
I do kind of appreciate the fact that pirates are back. I don't hate it. I like it.
I might hate it, we'll see.
We'll see. Maybe
Maybe I'll just join them.
Yeah.
Arrow...
Jade is about to become a pirate. He's leaving for Somalia tomorrow. Facts.
Aeroponics. 5 mana druid spell. Draw 2 cards. Cost 2 less for each treant you control.
Huh.
So it's basically free.
In the treant deck.
Yes, this goes into the treant token druid thing.
You summon you three treants and you play this for the F.
Oh, hey, Force of Nature.
Yeah.
This.
Huh. Exactly. And you draw 2 cards for nothing. That's pretty good.
You know how we said stuff putting Force of Nature over the edge? Yeah, this is
part of it.
Yeah,
this is absolutely part of it.
I like it. I wasn't a huge fan of the mech variety of Token Druid that came around after the rise of the
mech. That made a lot of it popular.
I preferred the older version, but it just was straight up weaker than the mech version. So this suggesting treants so much that
talking about treants a lot.
It might take the mechs out of the Token Druid, so I don't mind it.
What else we got?
Well, we got more Druid stuff. We got the Shrubadier, the 2 mana 1/1s. Battlecry summon a 2/2 treant.
This is a good card.
This is a slightly oversized card.
Yeah, straight up.
And it has treant synergy.
We'll take it.
I like it.
Pretty good.
4 mana, 4/2 pirate, horde pillager, battlecry. Equip 1 of your destroyed weapons.
1 of your destroyed weapons as an anchor.
Preferably.
Yeah, like it's anchor, right?
Yeah.
I would have to imagine.
I mean, with any given weapon, this is pretty decent. You don't want to play this in rogue.
Yeah, because you get the hero power weapons.
You get the Wicked Knife most of the time, and it's kind of weak.
They're not so good.
But in Warrior, this is a card. You know, it's also a card in Warrior.
What's a card?
Sky Raider.
Sky Raider.
Speaking of, can you play a pirate on 1? Yes, you can. It's a 1 mana 1/2 pirate. Yeah. Battlecry. Add a random pirate to your hand. What does that remind you of?
It's all coming together now. I do like it. I do quite like it a lot. This seems good.
It reminds me of Firefly. Or Militia Command. No, the Town Cry. That's the one I'm thinking of. You know, all of those 1/2s that add a minion to your hand.
I'll take a random pirate any day.
I mean, Pirate Warrior is loving this. Yeah. Bonus points for being a 1 mana pirate. So
decently statted even.
The one thing I just noticed is that, luckily, I believe, due to ordering, if you get the 2 mana, summon this from your hand after you play a pirate, shouldn't trigger.
No, it shouldn't trigger.
But if you have it,
yeah,
naturally, then
I'll take it. And still a
so yeah, Pirate Warrior is a
pirate. Yeah, man, I like pirates.
That's and I believe this is the last card. Let me just double check here. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
We're ending this one on a high note.
Yeah.
1 mana 2/2 Blazing Battle Mage.
It's just that's it. No text.
I mean, it's a good card.
Dire Maul.
Enchanted Raven.
Dire Maul.
Enchanted Raven.
Neutral. It's Dire Maul.
It has enchant Raven stats, and both are beasts, by the way.
It's the neutral... Yeah, yes. But it's the neutral card with absolutely no text that's going to be in every aggro deck ever.
I mean, yeah. It doesn't even have a tribe this time around.
What a bombshell. That makes it slightly worse, of course. But it's a 1-mana 2/2 neutral. If like
doesn't die to a hammered Nessing.
Yeah, why not just play it? You know, it's like if because aggro decks often don't really care too much about effects that 1-drop minions have. So we'll just play them for their stats.
I mean, I like Skyrider more than Blazing Battle Mage if
I'm playing a Pirate Warrior, yes, of course, yeah. But due to the versatility, you know, Battle Mage can go everywhere.
Heck, if I'm playing Pirate Warrior, I might still play Battle Mage.
Might, yeah, if you have an open space.
Yeah.
Be great if it was Pirate.
This goes in Zoo.
Yeah.
Probably goes in Token.
Probably does.
It might go in Token. It
goes a lot of places. Seems
goes in Temper Rogue.
Very simple card, probably a filler that they added because this is also literally the last card. Like probably just the card that when they noticed like during the final reveal stream we're 1 card short, let's just make this.
Yeah, no,
let's make the simplest possible card we can imagine.
Not really, but
we'll see.
Yeah, this is. I mean, they always have. A couple.
It very much feels like because it's like the most default name ever, the most default picture, rarities, you know, everything ever.
It's a card.
It's a card. It's there. It's in the set.
It does card things.
Crazy strong in arena and generally just a good card. That's all the cards in the new expansion, Descent of Dragons. Man, that was a long video. How long does this take? 2 hours? How long have we been sitting here?
Like around an hour.
Just 1 hour? Felt longer.
Maybe a little longer.
Felt longer. It felt like a podcast sort of thing.
Well, a podcast is about an hour.
And podcast is longer than an hour usually, I think. A little bit over, like 15-20 minutes over.
Yeah, I think it could easily be an hour 20. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we've been sitting for a while. We've went through every single card. Now, if you're still here, by the way, legendary. That's awesome. Let us know what you think. What's your opinions? What are you looking forward to? Me? Now Pirate Warrior. I want Pirate Warrior back. I'm that aggro warrior train. Can you hear it? Can you hear the train? Choo in the distance? That's pirates on there, man. Pirates on trains. They have evolved. They don't do ships no longer. They do trains now. I like it. That's gonna be fun. What are you thinking about it?
I was just thinking about piracy on trains. I'm pretty sure it used to be a thing.
Oh, sure.
They just wouldn't call them pirates.
Yeah. I don't know why.
But I mean, like the Wild West kind of setting.
Yeah, they just hijack trains.
Train jacking is like one of the most common.
Yeah, that's like one of the most respected jobs in the Wild West. Most popular, I should say, not most respected.
Yeah, but like again, like this is kind of a stereotypical thing almost. So piracy on trains not necessarily unheard of. Do your outro.
The pirate train's coming your way. Drop a like on the video. Let us know what you want to play. And join our Discord server to discuss further details and everything else. As a matter of fact, link to our Discord server is in the description of this video. You can find it there. Also on our channel page if you are so inclined. And I will redirect you to joining that server. And we have a bunch of people there. Great community to discuss Hearthstone with, including us if you want to talk to us. That is also doable. So hopefully we're going to see you there soon. Other than that, subscribe to the TrashcanTV YouTube channel that you're watching on right now because we have hella stuff coming up as soon as this expansion drops. For example, a 100 plus pack opening on Tuesday. That's launch day. And a bunch of deck ideas and stuff. And a budget series down the line where we present some of the best budget decks for relatively new beginner Hearthstone players on a budget.
Maybe also on a Tuesday. Who knows?
Potentially one of them might be on a Tuesday. You never know, man. We're full of surprises. We'll see. But for now, we're done with all the cards. Let us know what you think. And until next time, JJ.
That's it.
That's it.